Takes a certain amount of thug passion to just open up holes in the bottom of your boat.
A giant hole and water would run.
I'm just looking at something because it's not right.
I'm Kristen and this is Matt. We've spent the last 4 years sailing our $5,000 Craigslist boat to some of the most beautiful places in the Caribbean. From spearfishing in South Andros, Bahamas, staying in a treehouse and riding horses through the rainforest of the Dominican Republic, to even dodging hurricanes in Puerto Rico. We could have never imagined what this adventure would become. After gaining more sailing experience, we knew we had to make some serious upgrades to our boat if we wanted to keep this journey going. So we decided to go all in with our 40-year-old boat and get a new engine. We soon realized that we were in for more projects than we originally planned on. There's gonna be some major changes coming up, so hit subscribe and join us for the journey. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Sailing GBU. Today, we are doing something that we have put off for a long time because, frankly, I'm scared, but Matt had to do some research.
Yeah, I have to check my shaft seal before I can put my engine in, and I have to order parts for that, so I didn't want to take the whole boat out just for this one thing, so I've kind of been researching and thinking about how I can take the stuffing box while it's in the water. Problem with that, or the reason I have trepidation, is because it's going to let water in the boat. I'm going to have a big hole in the bottom of my boat, water's going to spray in, but I think I came up with a gangster ghetto engineering way to stop that from happening, and then also...
Wait, you came up with this on your own? This isn't researched work?
I researched materials that I had at my disposal, and then I came up with my own brain. And you know what? Sorry, not sorry. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna work.
Stop
and it's
saying
gonna work.
that. All right, guys, let's get into it.
Okay, so this is my prop shaft setup here. What I have to do for my old stuffing box, if you don't know what a stuffing box is, it's this thing that goes around your prop shaft to not let water come in. This little bump right here is just a void that there's water just on the other side of this. So this keeps the water from coming in or controls how much water comes in. So there's a nipple that comes off of this that I have to find the measurements for, so when I get a new stuffing box, everything fits over that and it goes the proper tension and the proper sealing. So what I'm hoping I can do is just take these hose clamps off, slide this up, and then slide that up to get my measurement, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get these off or how difficult that's going to be. So that's my big hurdle that I'm going. And I don't want to take this off and get water coming in because I won't be able to control it once everything's off. Except I have one way that I think I might be able to. My plan, my big tool that I'm going to be able to stop all the water from coming in my boat, it's not pool putty this time. It's every boater's best friend, butyl tape. I have some old butyl tape that I think I can go in there, stuff as much as I can.
Outside.
Out underwater. I can go into the little void that's going to be there, and I can stuff as much butyl tape in there as I can fit, and I think that that's going to give me a good buffer between the outside water and the inside water. I think it's going to work really well. It's obviously something I'll have to check every day, but even if there is a small leak of water coming in, I think my pumps can keep up with it.
Oh gosh.
You know, we're gonna see. I'm not like super thrilled about this, but at the end of the day, I gotta do what I gotta do. Alright, so I went down into the depths. I got a good stuff in with that butyl tape. I feel good about it. Only problem is I know I'm going to move the shaft a little bit back and forth when I'm playing with it in here. So it's going to open up a little bit, hopefully not too much where I get sprayed in the face of water. I really don't know how much water is going to come in here.
We don't want to sink our boat.
We definitely don't want to sink the boat. It's going to be it's a 1 inch hole in the boat, so I've had 3/4 inch holes open, and you know it lets a lot in. Nothing that you just can't put your finger in, but obviously there's already a thing in there, so I can't get it through. So I feel good about it. Let's go start doing it. Alright, so the first 3 hose clamps came off relatively easy, and I said, wow, this is going really great. And of course the last one is like wedged between 2 bolts, and it's completely rusted out, and when I went to turn it, the bolt broke. So now I got to get my Dremel, make some very small precise cuts, and hopefully I can cut that thing out of there. It takes a certain amount of thug passion to just open up holes in the bottom of your boat.
Did you just say thug passion?
Thug passion. If you know, you know.
I don't even think I know.
I got water coming in. I got the piece off. I'm just looking at something because it's not right. All right, so I got it off. The water is definitely coming in, but it's a manageable drip. I could probably go back outside and stuff the butyl tape in there now that I'm not moving it and get rid of some of that. But I think I'll definitely be able to put this back on, control the drip, stuff the butyl tape in there. We're going to be fine. Only problem is I'm seeing it's a plastic nipple that comes in, and obviously my shaft was a little misaligned. So this may be something that has to be taken out of the water. But I hate to say it, but this seems like something that the boat's going to have to get pulled. We're going to have to get that nonsense going.
Oh no, something's not working right?
Yeah, it's like you could tell the shaft was a little too far to one side, and it's just worn out the plastic. Obviously a hot metal shaft is going to groove the plastic down, or fiberglass, whatever it really is. But either way, it's a problem, and I got to measure it, get it back on, get my piece ordered either way, and then as you can hear, it's Ruby Falls. So, got some water to deal with. I'm going to get to work, guys.
So, good and bad news. Good news, we got that taken apart. Our boat didn't sink. You did a good job with that butyl tape trick, and you put it back on. And no problems. Bad news is we got some more damages than we thought in there, but it's good news we found it out, because I think we would have got our new engine, got that prop spinning, and it eventually would have ripped through that tube and a giant hole, and water would have went, and then we would have died. So
yeah, all those things would have for certainly happened. It's good. I was just hoping for a miracle. You know, I hit every roadblock possibly imaginable, and then eventually one time you're like, you know what? We never used the motor, so there's probably not much damage down there. Let's just hope that this goes a little bit smoothly, but of course this is going to be the bear of all bears as well. And now it looks like I have to schedule a haul out because I have to replace that piece, that nipple coming in, and I have to do some work on some alignment as well, which I think is going to be on the strut and the cutlass bearing on the back. So basically, realistically, to do it right, I have to take it out. I was really not wanting to do that, but it doesn't matter what I want to do. I mean, who am I? Who am I to want things?
Yeah, the boat tells you what it wants.
The boat say, Daddy, take me back out. I want a suntan. But, so yeah, that's obviously going to be happening. But either way, I have to order parts. Now I have to schedule a haul out. And now I have to still keep an eye on that butyl tape to make sure it doesn't wiggle wonk itself out of there. So, whatever. Not ideal, but it is what it is.
We're not going to let it get us down, and we're going to move on to the next project that I am actually really excited about.
Hey, did you know that people do a drinking game when you punch your hands?
They do?
Get wasted, yeah. People say,
because I do this.
I got a drinking game. Every time y'all punch your hands, I get drunk. So some of y'all are faded
Stop
out there.
making fun of me, guys, okay? I don't need jokes on me.
What's the project you're looking forward to?
Let's go. Alright, guys, here we are back at the V-berth, and this is my closet. It needs some work, and we're jumping right in, and we're going to fix this thing up to my liking. Now, am I a little high maintenance when it comes to my closet? Yes, because you want to know why? I have a lot of clothes. Do I wear them all? No, I probably wear 5 items of them, but I want to keep them, and I don't care what anybody says. So, what I'm planning on doing, before it was just one pipe, one hanging rod, and one deep, dark, shadowing, what do you call it, Matt?
Elephant graveyard.
It's an elephant grave drawer. So, oh, and a top little hangover thing that sucks. I'm going to be putting in hopefully 3 drawers and one hanging rod at the very bottom for different types of tops, and then on the drawers or shelves. I don't mean drawers, guys, I mean shelves, but they are going to be drawers. So I don't know what those are called. Let me know in the comments down below if you know what they're called. It's going to be a shelf, but I'm going to put sliders on them so I can pull them out. Also, on my one hanging rod at the very bottom, it's going to be coming out this way, and it's going to pull and slide out so I can get my different items out. Sounds confusing now, but you'll see once we get it going.
Alright, so the next thing I gotta do is fill in these holes so that everything's gonna be flush, and then we'll decide where we want to put our outlets or anything like that later. And since I've been so impressed with Kristen's construction know-how and knowledge during this trip, I want to ask Kristen before I start doing this, how would you fill this hole, honey? How would you get that filled in?
I would look to see if I had that width of wood.
Okay, 1/2 inch wood?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would try to cut out a close piece. I would duct tape it on the outside, and then I would fill it on this side.
So you're saying you would duct tape a piece of wood here?
No, I put the wood to fit in the spot.
Okay.
I duct tape it in place from the back, yeah, on that side,
Okay.
and then I fill it from the inside.
Then you'd fill it from the inside. So what you're saying is you would cut out, how would you measure to get this hole cut out? That's a pretty complex shape.
No, it's not. It's all squared.
Okay, so you would what? Just like measure that? How would you do it?
could put a piece of paper on one side and from the other side use a pencil and go around it, and then I measure to make sure it's right.
Okay, so what you're saying is you could put, like, say my
Is this a test? Because
Yeah.
I feel like I'm definitely better at this than you, so test me all you want. I'll be here all day. I got faster, smarter, better plans.
So what you're saying is put a piece of wood on the outside here and then trace it from the inside?
Yeah.
That could work? Okay. All right.
It doesn't have to be perfect because you're still filling the edges.
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, what was your plan?
What I would do if it were me is I would measure, obviously this is about 5 inches and this is about 8 or 9 inches. I would just cut out a 5 by 8 inch square and then replace the whole thing. Be a lot easier and
Okay.
instead of
I guess that's okay. That's
just
a good
how
idea.
I would do it. That's just how I would do it.
But really, my overall plan was good, though.
Yeah, well, I want to cut that funky ass shape out. That's only probably gonna take me 4 or 5 hours to cut something out like that. So it's pretty intricate.
For a loser.
Woo! Alright, now that I've filled in my wood holes, got everything looking good in there, it's time just for a little bit of bonding.
Alright guys, so it's the next day. We let the putty or whatever it's called, Bondo, dry. Now it's time to sand it and get it ready. I'm excited to see how this project's going to come about. I can't wait to see all the shelves start coming in. You're probably not as excited as me because it's my closet. So let's get right into it. Let's not waste any hours of the day.
So we have our plan, we got our plan of attack here, we got it sorted out, and we're gonna do 3 drawers, 6-inch drawers with 4-inch gaps. We should be able to easily fit 3 in there. So now we just gotta get our final measurements, get our wood, start cutting, and get it built in there. OMG guys, I'm bad at my job. I thought I hit record and I didn't hit record. So obviously, as you can see, this
That is not true.
This is not where we left off.
We forgot to film because we got caught up.
We got caught up in the moment where we were saying, hey, let's do it this way. Hey, let's do it that way. Hey, this got to be perfectly sized. Should we trim this first? We were just going back and forth, and we forgot completely about the homies. We forgot about y'all for 5 seconds. Mob B. But we remembered you now, and we're going to show you now that we've kind of figured out best laid plans. We're going to finish the rest of these drawers. This one isn't finished, but it's all the hard part we think is over.
Face, Matt.
Then I got
Look to the other side.
Then I got red.
Well, the other way. I literally looked at him and I thought he cut his entire face out. He got red Sharpie somehow all around his eyeballs.
I probably was going like this with the red Sharpie and I didn't have the cap on it.
Alright guys, here. Moment of truth. Okay, it's in. It's a little tight. Seems a little tight. We're gonna have to make a little bit of adjustments. Does it feel better?
Feels a little bit better to me, if I'm being honest. You know, it's like she was saying it was too tight, I was saying it was too stiff, and I guess we just never really got it figured out.
What are you talking about? I think too many permanent markers to your eyeballs have really deterred you. We haven't got any lunch here, people. We've been working for too many hours and Matt drew Sharpies all over his eyeballs. We got the drawers. We just need the face plates and the back plates. We can't do our third drawer because unfortunately we don't have a short enough slider for that one. As the hole starts coming in, you need shorter and shorter sliders and we don't have a small enough one. So we're gonna finish off the two drawers. We're pretty tired, but we can't stop now. So we're gonna get 3/8 wood, right Matt? 3/8?
3/4.
3/4, 3/4, whatever the hell it's called. I haven't eaten anything, guys. 3-something inch of wood to make a thicker front. So that'll make it look nice. Let's get into it. Alright guys, we got that completed and it took way longer. This is like day 3 or 4. It took way longer than we thought. I had an idea where I wanted good space in between my drawers and then it turns out I couldn't do my bottom slidey thing as you saw in the clips. I have a long pull out that can now put my horizontal hanging up clothes pull forward. Does that make sense? I don't know. But I ended up having to put all the drawers up, which then made my 12 or 14 inch slider be able to work. So I didn't have to go out and get that from the store and it's pretty much looking good. Obviously it's gonna look a little different by the end of the reveal, but stay tuned for that. I'm gonna add lights. I'm gonna make sure it's all painted and looking good in there. So it looked cool, right?
I think it looked really good and it basically turned that whole old closet space into like a big dresser. So I think it's going to be a lot more space. It's going to all around be better and, you know, I don't think you could have really asked for a better project for yourself. That project went pretty well, and then obviously trying to get my measurements for my nipple that comes into the boat, that little, I don't even know what that's called, slip-on or whatever, sleeve. But I'm happy the boat hasn't been sinking. Like she said, it's been a few days on this project, so we got the water coming in the boat under control, and now we just have to take the next step of what's it going to be. Do I need to schedule a haul out for this, or what's going to be the next big step for having to get that fixed? I can't imagine it's something we could do while the boat's in the water, so I think it's going to be a pull the boat out sort of deal.
And as always, guys, if you want to see what we're working on in real time or you want to see things ahead, check out our Patreon. I'll leave the links below. We also have the links for our Teespring, and that about does it for this project. We're gonna get right back to work though. We got so many projects to go. It's a little overwhelming, but we're holding it together and I can't wait to see this boat finish. So we'll see you guys next week. Bye.